Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a lovely day. This video was actually inspired by one of you guys because I was left a comment on my video that I was talking about relationships. It was a really happy video where I was sharing with you guys my current new relationship status, which I was so excited about, but I also ended it on a bit of a serious note where I spoke about heartbreaks and kind of getting over somebody and trying not to put people on pedestals and trying your very, very best to realize that you shouldn't be stuck on one person and that you can get over what you thought and felt was a super incredible person, because half the time they're not. But then one of you guys said that it's all well and good that you may struggle finding somebody new when you come out of a relationship, but what if you're stuck with someone and you're still with someone because you are too scared to find somebody new and because you are too worried about being single and you're too concerned about how life will be without that person to actually break up with them? And I feel like that's a very good point to mention, because I feel like that is just as important, maybe even more important, than struggling with finding somebody new after a relationship has broken, because it is very easy to get comfortable, it is very easy to feel settled, and it is very difficult to come out of a relationship that you are unsure of what will happen afterwards. People get comfortable, people just get used to what is normal, and I semi-talked about this in the video before, where it's very easy just to deal with the faults in your relationship, and it's very easy just to carry on coping as you always have because that's all you know. But in all seriousness, that can sometimes lead down a very dangerous road, because that can snowball into manipulative relationships. It can introduce a very emotionally unstable relationship, and before you know it, you are stuck with somebody who is mind controlling you without you even noticing. I'm making this video so that maybe somebody who comes across it could watch it and start noticing themselves whether they are in that situation without them knowing. Even if this video simply tells you that you're not happy, because sometimes it is actually very difficult to know whether you are happy or whether you are comfortable. I remember when I didn't understand the saying "don't settle," because I simply didn't know what that meant, because I relate settling to being comfortable and finding somewhere that you feel happy and safe and secure. But settling isn't always good if you're settling for something that isn't the best and something that you deserve a lot more than. I know that relationships can be difficult. I know that they are all about hard work and determination and working at something again and again and again. It's not all daisies and roses. It's not always happiness and sunshine. You will fight, you will argue, you will cry, complain, moan because you love that person and because you're working so hard towards something with them. Life isn't easy, life is tough, things get in the way, and it will affect your relationship. That will in turn make you grow as people and a couple. But if you are arguing more than you are spending happy times together, then that is a definite red flag. We all know what the honeymoon stage is. We all know that warm, happy feeling that's all lovely and beautiful when you first get into a relationship and everything's new and fresh and exciting, and when you think about that person you get butterflies in your stomach and you just want to shout out the rooftops because you're just so happy. But just because that honeymoon stage disappears after a while, that doesn't mean the determination for your relationship should die with it. If you don't feel as content with this person anymore, that doesn't always necessarily mean that your honeymoon stage is over. It may mean that you're not happy. Do you fall into arguments with your partner sometimes because you want what's best for them, and sometimes you just find yourself disagreeing over silly little things? Or are you arguing with them because you literally can't stand them anymore and you're just irritated by them and everything they stand for, it just gets on your nerves? I have known heaps of people that took months to realize that they aren't in love anymore. They just don't love their partner anymore, and they just know that they're there and they're comfortable with them, they're good mates, they get along well. What's the problem in that? But then weeks down the line when they break up, they say to me, "Why didn't you say that you could see we weren't happy?" You just need to know it yourself. You've got to ask yourself. I'm not going to sit and tell anybody how they feel, because they should know, which I want you to do. If you feel like you are in a place that you're keeping yourself in because it's normal and it's easy, then maybe you need to rethink about things. Comfortable isn't always good. Settling isn't always fun. Learning to put up with stuff that is mentally destroying you slowly but surely isn't good. At the end of the day, people get in relationships, people marry other people because they make them eternally happy. They can't imagine life without them because their other half makes them a better person. Their partner supports them in a way that helps them grow, and they nourish them like a flower because they just want what's best for their other half. And I'm not saying you should feel these certain ways in a relationship. Every relationship is different, no matter how your relationships work. I don't want to get too involved with particular people's beliefs and how they think a relationship should be, because whatever, if you're happy, be however you wish to be in that relationship, but just don't ever tell yourself that you don't deserve more. You literally deserve the utter best. You need to be with somebody who you feel like you almost don't deserve, and they in turn should feel the same way, because you feel like you could just do all these nice things with them very easily, because how could you not? you just like them that much. It's very easy not to see warning flags. You don't have to physically be touched to be in an abusive relationship, and that's something that I really want to stress, because when you hear the words abusive relationship, the first thing you think of is physical stuff. You think of hitting, punching, pushing, fighting. It's not always about that. They can maybe end up that way, but they can also just be emotionally abusive relationship. Are you being told who you can and cannot talk to? Are you being told that you should only do something a certain way? Does your other half ever insult you or threaten you, or ever make you seem silly in front of other people, as if maybe they take pride in humiliating you? It can be very, very easy to suddenly get used to the way somebody is, so that you don't realize that what they're saying to you is actually very disgusting and hurtful. But because that's the way you've always known them, you've kind of brushed it off and felt as if that's the way they are, that's the things they say sometimes, and I'm totally fine with that because they don't mean any harm. Bull crap. If somebody isn't cheering you on and celebrating for every single little bit of progress you ever make, then they do not love you. If they are knocking you down for the things you have achieved, if they aren't letting you run for your dreams and help you become that better person bit by bit, they do not care for you. You need to be with somebody better. I don't know what the comments are going to be like for this video. Maybe some of you are going to disagree with this, saying it's hard to constantly prove to somebody how much they mean to you, and it's hard to always put somebody else first when you've got your own things going on. Yes, it is, but it is not hard in any way to do tiny little things throughout the day to show somebody that they deserve everything. And life does get in the way. Things do happen that can affect somebody and pull strain on your relationship, because it is harder for you to be the way you used to be. Perhaps a mental health condition can affect how you two are together now. But that is never an excuse for somebody to disrespect you, for somebody to hurt you, for somebody to emotionally drain you. It is your choice to be with somebody, and it is your choice to end it with somebody if you do not feel happy with them anymore, if you don't feel secure, if you don't feel security around them anymore, if you don't feel protected. It is okay to walk away from a relationship. It doesn't matter what is around the corner. Your happiness is worth way more than all the hassle that may come from you breaking up with this person. You live together, you have kids together, etc, etc. All these things that could tell somebody it's a big enough reason to stay with someone, really at the end of the day isn't. There's got to be something wrong if those are the reasons you're staying with somebody. The reason you're staying with somebody shouldn't be convenience. It should be because you want to spend the rest of your life with that person, because you love the way they are, the way they treat you. Do you ever find yourself looking at somebody else? Do you ever find yourself looking at other couples, admiring the way they are, wishing that you could be like that? Do you ever find yourself looking at somebody else and wishing that you had the ability to give their traits to your partner because your partner doesn't have those traits? Do you look at somebody else and wish that you could be with them, you could hold them, you could kiss them? When they talk about their partner, do you wish that your partner would say the same things about you? Do you hear your friends talk about their relationship and wonder how nice it would be to be in a relationship like that? That's not good. You're not happy. Staying like that is a lot more painful than being single for a little while and simply looking after yourself before you can find somebody better, somebody who can make you think, what the frick was I doing for so long, hanging on to something that was long gone? Don't stay with somebody because you pity them. Don't stay with somebody because you feel sorry for them. Never continue being with somebody because you're too worried how they might take the breakup. That is a super horrible, nasty thing to do. I know that you're worried about how they may cope when you've fallen out with them, but what you're doing now is in a way worse. You're telling them lies, and you're being with somebody who you don't actually want to be with because you're scared for how they may react. Listen to yourself, believe in yourself, and I believe in you. I promise you're going to be so much more happier down the line if you listen to this advice and go ahead with trusting your instincts. They're good, they're useful, that's what they're there for, and that's all the advice I have to give for that. I'm sorry it was dark and deep, but I hope it helped at least one of you. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you the day after tomorrow. Subscribe if you haven't, and you can be notified every time I make a brand new video. All my social media is down there in my description box below, such as my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'm also live streaming on YouNow twice a week, so become a fan by clicking the link down there. Bye guys. Be kind to yourselves.